how does your current work with Western esotericism tie in with your earlier work with the UNDP? Do you see any link, or was it totally separate for you?
Well, my decision to go and work for UNDP had in fact nothing to do with esotericism,
right,
or paganism. But my experience at UNDP was important for my journey towards paganism.
And why is that?
Well, UNDP has what I would call a globalist agenda, whereas paganism, as I said, tends to be rooted in the local.
That's right.
If you take a community like the Bushmen in the Kalahari Desert in Africa, if you were to measure them by the standards of the Human Development Report, they wouldn't even get a rating.
Yeah, that's right.
Because they live in absolute poverty. They only live on what they can hunt and gather. They have very low life expectancy. They're illiterate, and yet they have a marvelous culture, a rich oral tradition going back many generations, and a musical tradition, and a very highly developed set of customs and social conventions. Now, if you take a Kalahari Bushman and put him in a modern house with running water and give him a regular job, in a very short time, he's going to become severely depressed.
Yeah.
Because by taking him away from his traditional tribal grounds, you've in effect taken away his soul.
Yeah. I'm sure you're used to this from working in the UNDP context, because when arguments are presented like that to people in these fora, they would say, listen, you're romanticizing poverty.
Exactly.
You're romanticizing a life expectancy of 45 years old, and people who are chronically starving, and in fact you're keeping them poor. What's your answer to those people who say, listen, you're just romanticizing poverty, it's bunk, you would never go and live out in the desert with a life expectancy of 45 years old, and you not sure where your next meal is coming from, you have no vaccine. What's your response to that?
Well, my response is, of course, I wouldn't, because I come from a different background and I'm used to a different way of life.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. Exactly.